Hello, guys. Welcome back to this live streaming. As always, as every week, I wait a few seconds so you will be able to join. And it depends. It depends on what's happening today, because if things are happening like last week, in which I had to keep this live streaming, you will find it on the channel. So don't worry. Feel free to follow me. To follow me even after. When this live streaming is finished. It depends. I repeat you, it depends, because if I don't say anything different, you will not find it. If I say something different, you will find it. So it's up to you. Okay, I just wait for a few seconds, 30 seconds more or less, before starting rewatching episode 6 of the final season of Shingeki no Kyojin, Attack on Titan, L'attacco dei giganti. And then we will understand what to say. Maybe I will find another inspiration like before. Put all of your likes and dislikes, because recently I have lots of dislikes. Who knows why? I have an idea, but I don't care. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Okay, I will start, I guess. Yes, let me start. It's better to skip bad things and to focus on great things. Okay, ready? Let's go. Let's go. Let's see if it starts. Let's see. Is it starting? Okay.
じゃあ、お父さん行ってくるから。お姉ちゃんの言うことをよく聞いて、いい子でいるんだぞ。お父さんどこ行くの？私も一緒に行く。ねえ、いいでしょ？いいでしょ？ごめんな。今日はダメなんだ。ほら、あんたたち、頭が言わないの。お父さん困っちゃうでしょ。いいね。兄弟みんな仲良くな。
Yeah, of course he knew that he was dying because he had this sixth sense.
いってらっしゃい。すまない。子供たちを頼んだよ。
I don't know, I'm wondering, will we be able to see them again? I'm talking about the rest of the family of Willy Taiba. We will be able to watch some other members of the family later. This is interesting. I never thought about this.
その時だけです。時点で幹部の移動時ですが、直前まで移動経路を決めない習わしが防衛策としてあり、馬車も様々な要人が利用します。ならば、軍幹部は橋の特等席へ、できるだけ一区画にまとめておくように。本当によろしいのですか？タイバー家もただ遊んでいたわけではない。先代に比べてはな。かねてより世界の上層階級と交流を深めては、エルディア人の地位向上に努め、パラディ島の動きに目を光らせていた。だが、見るべきは足元だった。気づいた時には敵は海を渡り、我々の首元まで迫っていた。
Oh yeah.
もはや、いつ喉を切り裂かれてもおかしくない。
At any moment, in fact.
パラディ島勢力の協力のおかげだが、依然その実態がつかめないままでいる。ご存知の通り、我が国マーレは敵が多すぎる。軍の内部も例外ではない。敵をあぶり出すためなら、ケツに火をつけて。
One second. Willy Taiba here is saying that Marla has lots of enemies. It's not just Paradis. Marla has lots of enemies even on the other side of the sea. This was interesting too, because at the beginning we thought, oh, Marle was on the other side, and many other countries were agreeing with Marle and what they were doing. But then in this final season, we understood that it's totally the contrary. There are lots of countries who are enemies of Marle too.
敵の襲撃計画を甘んじて受け、それを最大限に利用する。代案でもあるなら聞く。なければ計画通りに。しかし敵 撃を積むにしても、あまりに餌が大きい。無能な幹部などくれてやればいい。敵の目的がマーレ軍に損害を加えることなら、まさに好都合じゃないか。新たな軍の再建も、あなたの人選通りに党は藩を押す手はずだ。しかし、大勢死にます。その大半はエルディア人だ。悪魔の末裔なんだ。今更じゃないか、マガト隊長。
I'm really curious about the evolution of Magato too. I want to see what he will do in part 2.
同じ命だ。あなたが今までやっていたことをやればいい。先に申し上げておきます。これは戦争ではありません。敵の正体や目的。
This is true. I mean, it's not a war because when you join war, you know what's your opponent, you know what's the enemy. But here, Magato, I mean, Megath, he's totally right. We don't know the enemy. We don't know how they will attack. We don't know the ways in which they will attack. And in fact, they were all surprised because nobody knew about these 3D, I mean, the three-dimensional gear. They didn't know anything. So he was totally right. Nobody knows. So this is not a war. This is just a fight based on something, but we don't know them. That's true.
タイバーコ、私はおそらくあなたを守ることができない。
In fact,
このままではあなたは死にます。あなたは餌にしては大きすぎる。当然、覚悟の上だ。私が表に立たなければ、世界は目を向けてくれない。軍も記者も、国々の大使も、一堂にして集うことはない。何より、私を含め、レベリオ収容区のエルディア人は、哀れな被害者でなくてはならない。
tragic, yes, tragic victims, but
予期せぬ襲撃の被害者が。私だけそこから逃れていては、世界を味方につけるどころではなくなる。エルディア人は悪魔の末裔に違いない。
no doubt, no
そして
doubt.
私たちは悪魔に違い
Oh
ない。
yes, yes, totally correct. Finished. Wow. Okay, here there's the opening. Anyway. Anyway, the eyes of a terror. Oh, what's going on? The eyes of a terror. What's going on? Why did it stop? Is it my internet connection? Maybe. The eyes of a terror. When Eren appeared. Wow. La 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 la. What happens? Today I think the internet connection is not so great. Let's see what's the new opening and who's going to make the new opening. This is so interesting. Also because it's the last opening, so. Oh, come on, what's going on? Okay, let me. Destruction, every generation, you are my enemy. Sorry, I anticipated because I don't know what's going on today with the with the internet connection. It happens sometimes. War, my war, my war. Okay. I hope the internet will go well. Oh, the same terror that happened in season 1, episode 1.
早く立つんだ早くソフィアソフィア大丈夫かソフィアこれをどかさないで
Or the scene in which Colt is protecting Gabi behind that piece of wall of the building that was crashing down. That scene is really beautiful. Okay, it's not beautiful because it's a war scene or an attack scene, but um, the feelings of that moment is they are quite clear. And yeah, I loved this episode because they definitely catch the moments of desperation, agony, fear, all these feelings that are typical during a war, during an attack from another country or from a battle. It's like episode 1 of season 1, but it's like even episode 1 of season 4, because over there too you were able to detect these feelings, especially before the Joe Titan arrived, before the Carter Titan arrived. This moment of desperation in the eyes of the people who are there in that moment, that was so well painted, well detailed, and I really liked this episode for this reason too. Yeah, the scream of Gabi was so effective, so effective.
サイバー家の務めご立派でした
Nobody expected that she was the Warhammer, right? Nobody, I think, except for manga readers, of course, but nobody understood that she was the Warhammer. Oh, yeah. I remember this moment. Yeah, look, I've read later many comments regarding each episode throughout blogs, throughout forums, without spoilers, of course. And everybody was saying one thing in particular: the fact that Eren was not the typical character of a manga or of an anime, in which he is always waiting that the opponent, I mean the antagonist, is transforming completely, as if like in Dragon Ball. Do you remember when the enemy was transforming to the next level, to the next form? Goku or all the others on the opposite side, that they were waiting that he or she was transforming. But in this case, yeah, he was something. Yeah, okay. Hide user from the channel. Bye. Okay. Sorry, I was deleting a stupid comment of a stupid person who is wasting his time um, for doing nothing. Your life is more important than mine, right? So go away from here. Bye. See ya. Anyway, sorry, I go back with the main subject. No, I want to say another thing. If I am cringe because of the the faces I'm making, why are you here? Go away. Bye. See you next time. I hope not to see you again. See ya. Anyway, going back to Shingeki no Kyojin, I wanted to say that um, yeah, this thing of Eren that is not waiting for the enemy to appear in its last form, but he's punching the enemy before even transforming totally. Yeah, this was something brand new or something that usually doesn't happen. And I think that this was more realistic because when you are confronting an enemy, you're not waiting that he or she is transforming in front of you. No, you are attacking because that's what you want to do. That's how this attack was supposed to be. So I think, yeah, many people were agreeing with this thing of Eren punching the Warhammer even before reaching the final form. Many people appreciated this moment for sure.
マード隊長、潜水の巨人がやられてしまいます。隊長、戦士隊が見つかって、潜水で軍艦部はどこにさような戦の軌道を指示してください。隊長、豆鉄砲だが、周り軍反撃の口火は今をもって切られた。まさかここまで派手に登場するとは。それもあの特徴からして、始祖の巨人殺伐者。進撃の巨人エレン・イエーガーご本人が起こした。島まで行く手間が省けた。総員持ち前。
I don't think so. Wow, the cruelty of these moments.
全員に覚えておけ。一番槍を入れたのはこの私だと。さあ、何なんだ。なんでいきなり戦争なんだ。
これとウドは。
とにかく急いで病院に行かないと。
ウド、そんな。
さあ、ファルコー！ どこだ！
And I want to say another thing. Here, we see how fragile Gabi is. Because throughout the previous episodes, you see that she's presumptuous. She feels as if she's the best and F the rest. I mean, she has a typical attitude of a person who is so self-confident or sure about herself. But here in this episode, we see that her personality is changing for real. After this moment, Gabi's personality is descending, is turning into something else. And no matter if later she's saying some things that reminded us the first Gabi, the Gabi of episode 1, the Gabi of episode 2, and stuff like that. But from this episode 6, she's totally changing and she's confronting reality, or she's understanding for real what's going on and how hard this reality is, because we saw it even through all the episodes coming after till episode 16. We see how Gabi is fragile and she's not at all a self-confident person, totally the contrary. But yeah, I have to say that from this moment till episode 16, Gabi changed a lot. A lot.
一体何が。
この地響き、巨人同士が戦ってるみたいだね。
そんなわけが。
私たちがここに拘束されていることが答えでしょ。
Yeah.
早くここから出ない。
どうやって。これ。遅いよ。ピークさん、ご無事ですか。
And here we understood how Peak is strategical. I mean, she was already doubting and she already had a plan about this. Yes, as much as episode 16, Pika is a great and a strategical mind person. Yeah, Titan, I was about to say Titan, well, okay.
現在、潜水の巨人が応戦しているようです。
車力の並走車両
本部にあります。15分で完走できます。
10分でやるよ。
了解です。先に行っとくぞ。
待ってポルコ。少し様子を見て。
Wait, porco.
なんだ。
まさか。
Oh, yes. Oh, this moment, guys. Wow. Wow. And also for Eren, it was the first time to meet the Warhammer. I mean, he didn't know anything about her or that Titan. And he's confronting even the new weapons, because Eren didn't know about these cannons or all these things that can damage Titans for real, as much as it happened for Reiner in episode 1. So this is a first time also for Eren. If we compare, because many people compare Gabi with Eren, I think in this episode we see the first time in which Gabi is fragile, and the first time in which Eren is confronting a reality during a battlefield that was not predictable, because he didn't know with his own eyes, he didn't experience with his own eyes what was the reality and how better Marley was confronting. I mean, if we compare Paradise with Marley, of course, we know that Paradise had lots of problems because they couldn't evolve as much as Marley. And in this first battle, Eren is taking into consideration even the fact that they have new weapons, and he's confronting them for the first time. So I think this episode was the episode of the first times.
このままエレン・イエーガーを仕留めましょう。ここで人が散れば敵勢力はおしまいです。ダメだ。師匠を殺せば問題を先送りにするだけだ。何としてでもここで戦鎚に食わせる。我々はその補助に徹するのみだ。しかし、大将、戦鎚は始祖を食うつもりはないようですが。
What? And now, sorry that I interrupt once again, but now that Eren will inherit the Warhammer, as we all know, I can't wait to see in part 2 how he's handling all these titans he has right now, all the power he has, because it's interesting. Except for the final form that I told you previously. But I am so curious to see how he will handle all these things all together. This will be a great battle, I guess.
進撃をものともしない戦鎚の勝利だ。
No.
奴がエレン・イエーガーか。
Yeah. At this moment. Oh, this moment.
本当に仕留める気だ。
But listen even the music.
さんたち、エレン・イエーガー。最後、言い残すことはありますか？
And wait, I stopped it before. And Eren's last word is
今だ、ミカサ。
wow. Her entrance was like a goddess. Okay, I loved how they portrayed Mikasa here. So beautiful. Oh yeah, these reminded me when they appear all behind the megas. It reminded me of a season 3 part 2 with Edwin. Yeah.
みんな、来てくれたんだな。
Mhm.
エレン、帰ってきて。
The Eren Onegai kaite kite. Here. Wow, do you remember at the end of season 3 part 2? We were always trying to guess, what does it mean Eren Onegai kaite kite? Is she talking in front of a window, is always thinking about Eren that he's on the other side already, and she's praying Eren with her mind, please come back. No. I mean, we were trying to understand what was going on with that sentence, and now that we find that sentence here, I was speechless some months ago. Totally speechless. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
すべて山から下ろせ。沖の艦隊もだ。西と東から3万の兵力をここに集結させろ。レベリオ収容区を封鎖する。地層を含め、島の悪魔どもを一匹たりとも逃がしてはならん。今のうちに暴れてろ。もうお前たちに未来
Now
はな
you
い。
should say to yourself, Magus, have a fun until you have the time.
主要国家は当事者となる。リリー・タイバーの思惑通り、世界にエルディア帝国の脅威が知れ渡ったのだ。世界はお前らを生かしていけなくなった。
This is true. I mean, Willie Tiber's plan was perfect for this. Yeah.
だとすると、ケイ。まとめ、ぶち落とせ。あいつら。
John.
おい、収容区ごと燃やすつもりか。民間人への被害は最小限に抑えろ。分かってんのか、ブロック。ここにいるのは敵と敵の住む建物だから。
From here, Flock, we understood him.
どれ
I
だけ
mean,
壁の外の奴らに殺されてきたか忘れたか。食い殺されたんだぞ。まだまだこんなもんじゃ済まされねえよ。お前まだそんなこと言ってんのか。
I'm pretty interesting. I mean, I'm interested in also in what's happening with the Flock. I mean, I don't know what to expect about Flock. Maybe he will die. Okay, I have an idea regarding Flock that it comes to my mind right now. He's following the Jaegerists, and of course he's the chief of the Jaegerists, let's say, and he's following Eren with everything that he's doing. And as much as Eren wanted to protect the others, because as I told you already, my ideas, you know what I mean. While he's rejecting his friends because he actually wants to protect them, on the contrary, I think that Flock, that Eren is followed by Flock, and for Eren it's not a problem because he knows. I mean, Eren knows that he will die, so maybe even a Flock will die. This is what I believe. Yeah.
戦えった。俺たちはただ壁の中で死を待つだけじゃない。俺たちにはあの悪魔が必要だ。
エレン、あなたは自分が何をやったか。
Oh yes, he has. I mean, ciao Lorenzo. Here Mikasa is saying, "Do you understand what you did, Eren?" I think he did. I mean, he understands. It's not that he doesn't. I still believe that Eren already saw everything in the past about what was going on, and what he's doing is just the result of everything that he saw and the fact that he wants to solve things, because Eren always had this problem. Eren had always the problem that he couldn't solve anything, no matter the power, no matter his destiny, no matter anything. So that's why last week I was telling you, will he be able to solve things for real, or is it just an that he fought for anything happening for real. Because, okay, what I'm saying is, what if Aiden is doing everything that he's doing for nothing? That means, try to imagine. In this case, yeah, in this case, it reminds me of Lelouch. Yes, in Code Geass, he was fighting for nothing. If you follow the season 2 of Code Geass, okay. Um, if you didn't watch Code Geass, you should watch it. I don't want to put spoilers here about this, but what if Eren is fighting for nothing? Because last week I told you, yeah, he wants to do everything that he wants to do. He wants to protect his friends. He wants to finish all these things. But what about if he's doing everything for nothing? Because after his death, maybe other problems will come, and maybe those problems will be almost the same as before. It could be, but this will be a mess, or this will be something that you will feel disappointed, don't you think? Eren fought with all his soul, his heart to solve everything, but then we discovered that everything was done for nothing. I hope it's not going to happen. Can you imagine? But at the same time, as I was telling you last week, I think that in this case, if nothing will be solved for real, it's just realistic. Because even in our history, no matter how many times wars tried to repair things or to solve problems or to solve things, the result was totally the contrary. It was totally different, because history told us that we still didn't solve anything so far. It's just a matter of time, and then many other bad things will happen again because of us, human beings. And that's why I am afraid that at the end of the day, Eren will die in vain. I mean, for nothing. Oh, no F way, I hope not. Flock avrà un momento bellissimo nella parte seconda. Ok, can't wait, non vedo l'ora effettivamente, perché sto pensando a come potrebbe evolvere il suo personaggio. È molto interessante, o meglio, mi interessa sapere che fine farà, però ovviamente non lo voglio sapere adesso. Comunque, secondo me, ecco, lo traduco anche in italiano, secondo me Flock morirà, perché mentre Eren cerca di respingere i suoi amici e cerca di salvarli in qualche modo, nonostante lui abbia un atteggiamento rude, cattivo, mettiamola così, nei loro confronti, per quanto riguarda, secondo me, a Flock cioè di Flock non gliene frega niente, logicamente, e quindi se vuole stare dalla sua parte, ben venga, tanto si sa che alla fine Eren morirà, o perlomeno questo è quello che penso io. Hello, greetings from Argentina. Thanks Octaviano 19. Hola, muchas gracias. Ma sì, ma penso sicuramente che Flock farà una brutta fine, adesso non lo so, però seguendo Eren, se Eren muore, essendo devoto a Eren, ho un brutto presentimento, ecco. E non posso ripetere quelle parole, Lorenzo. Ok, però ti sto leggendo tutto quello che vuoi, ma sempre fedele a se stesso. Sì, 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 non dico il contrario, anzi, Flock è molto coerente col suo filone di pensiero, non si discosta, non decide di prendere una strada alternativa solo perché è conveniente, no, lui va dritto per la sua strada. Questo bisogna riconoscerglielo. Non ho mai detto il contrario, penso che qualche mese fa ho detto la stessa cosa. Cioè è molto coerente, nonostante tutti gli vadano contro, perché logicamente lui ha un pensiero totalmente diverso rispetto a Armin, rispetto a Mikasa, rispetto a Connie, bla bla bla. Però c'è da dire che sì, Flock è molto coerente. I mean, Flock is really coherent with what he's thinking. He's not changing his mind, or he's not trying to find the most convenient solution to survive. No. He wants to follow Eren for all the things we know, but that's why that's why I'm saying that I think he will die because of this, because he is always coherent. He wants to follow it, and we know, I know, or I feel Eren will die. So of course he has to follow his ideals till the end. Yeah, he's really coherent. Absolutely, I think this. I think the same.
あなたは民間人を殺した。
Yeah.
子供も殺した。
Yes.
取り返しがつかない。
Yes. Oh yeah. And he knows that. I mean, when Mikasa is saying you did something that can't be repaired, I mean, that can be undone anymore or something like this. Bye bye. Another hide user from the channel. Bye bye. Bye. Yeah, I think that here Eren knows that what he did was not, that can't be repaired, that there's not a solution for this. He knew that because he's moving forward no matter what. So this is the policy of being the Shingeki no Kyojin, and no matter if Mikasa is telling him this, I think he knew from the beginning that he was doing what he was doing because he has a purpose, and no matter if it's right or wrong, he has to susumu, he has to go ahead. This was really sad. I mean, when we saw here Mikasa crying, that was really, really sad.
ミカさん、まだ終わってない。
Yeah.
そんなはずはない。うなじを完全に吹き飛ばした。
俺も同
Ti
じ
leggo dopo, Lorenzo, finisco un attimo l'episodio.
だが奴は死んでない。そうか。潜水の巨人。硬質化で何でも器用に作っちまうってわけか。分かってきたぞ。いくらうなじを潰しても死なねえわけだ。ミカさん、奴の注意を引いてくれ。うまくいけば潜水の巨人を食える。ダメダメ、ベッドは満杯だ。その子もとっくに死んでるよ。そんな、ちゃんと見てくださいよ。君こそこの状況を見ろ。戦士候補生だろ。
先生、お願いします。
分かった、すぐ行く。ガビ、お前は家族と一緒にいろ。どこが安全かもわからない状況だが、広場からできるだけ離れているんだ。俺はファルコを探しに戻る。
私も戻る。ウドとゾフィアがなんで殺されたのかわからないから。
Hmm.
待て、ガビ、行くな。
Because, okay, Gabi, I can tell you the answer. You ask yourself why Zofia and Udo had to be killed and what's going on. It's all because of human beings and their mistakes. That's why I think that unfortunately, maybe there will not be a solution for this. Gabi now doesn't understand it, but actually, even in real life, we don't understand why we have to make wars. We don't understand why we can't find peace for real. But this is just because of us. This is just because of humanity, human beings that are repeating the mistakes over and over again without changing, without finding a solution for real, because it's not part of ourselves. It's not what we are. We are imperfect, and this is the result of our imperfection. Gabi, I think the problem is us. I mean, the problem is human beings. And that's why, even if you try to understand why Zofia and Udo died, I don't know if you will find a real answer, because after all the things that happened throughout the episodes, we just understand that human beings are selfish, that the I don't know how to say, the mankind, we are imperfect. We have lots of defects, lots of weak points. We are not able to find the solutions, even if they seem to be so easy to solve or easy to find, we are the problem of everything. And I think in this story, it's so clear. No matter where you stand, it's always a problem. And it's really hard to change things. And that's why I was saying, what's going to happen? Because Eren will die, but what's next? I mean, do you remember we were talking about these 8 extra pages after the last chapter last week? That's the most interesting thing. I want to understand what's coming after Eren's death. I want to understand what's going on and if things are changing or not. But if Isayama wants to stay realistic and he wants to portray the reality as much as he can, unfortunately, I should say that nothing can change or that things are repeating even after. Because I don't think that thanks to Eren and thanks to all these, the world will find the eternal peace forever. I don't think it's so easy. That's why I feel sad if a thing like this is happening. I'm feeling sad for Eren because he sacrificed his life for nothing. And at the same time, I feel disappointed because human beings, even after all this mess that happened in this Shingeki no Kyojin world building, they will still not understand that they have to change or they have to find a solution. So it's a sad ending, actually. Yeah, it could be. And it makes sense when Isayama said, actually, there will not be a happy ending. Also for this at this point. Um, Le fan base però ama un po' troppo Flock e il suo lato, scusa non posso ripetere la parola, per la tua salute mentale ti consiglio di non entrare su Titanfall. No, no, non so neanche cosa sia Titanfall. Jäger Bomb, no, non lo so cosa sono queste cose. Cioè sono dei blog, sono dei forum. Non penso che esistano più fanbase più tossiche, polarizzate e devote all'odio di quelle. No, non so di cosa tu parli perché io non so se sono blog, se sono forum, ma io non seguo questi 2 titoli, quindi non lo so. Però ecco, nei mesi precedenti, a questi rewatch, a me Flock, oddio, capivo la sua coerenza, ma non è che mi piacesse più di tanto, perché anche lì è stato come andare, come non so neanche come scusate, non so come parlare oggi. Non so neanche come definirla, una presa di posizione ottusa, quella di Flock, cioè andar lì con i paraocchi così, così. No, però ecco in questa quarta stagione, non è che mi sia piaciuto tanto Flock, se devo essere sincera, nonostante, ripeto, la sua coerenza del il filone di pensiero, tutto quello che ne concerne, però non l'ho reputato uno dei miei personaggi preferiti di questa stagione. So sicuramente che nella terza stagione, seconda parte, in un certo senso, okay, aveva ragione quando parlava, dopo la morte di Erwin o comunque un po' prima della sua morte, che fece quel discorso su abbiamo bisogno di un demone che possa risolvere queste cose e in effetti vabbè. Però non ho mai avuto tutta questa simpatia per Flock, mettiamola così. Non ho mai avuto questo filone di pensiero che Flock fosse un gran figo e cose di questo tipo, no. Per quello non no, non ho mai avuto questa intenzione, ecco. Comunque tu d'anime only hai già capito. Ah, davvero Lorenzo, sono contenta! Di quelli che hanno letto il manga e hanno minacciato mamma mia, che tristezza! Capisco che Attack on Titan è più complicato dello shonen classico, ma no, Eva è pesante. Sì, sono i più tossici. Ah no, allora quelli guarda io non li seguo. No, io seguo alcuni, gruppi anche sui social che però c'è scritto proprio no spoilers e cose di questo tipo, mi sono aggiunta a questi gruppi proprio perché sono no spoilers, quindi oppure determinati gruppi anche su Reddit che appunto hanno la scritta no spoilers, quindi tu clicchi e entri nelle pagine dove appunto non viene detto niente di compromettente, per fortuna, e quindi resto su quelli, anche perché mancano 3 mesi in croce, quindi non penso che farò fatica ad aspettare 3 mesi, se ho aspettato anche anni, quindi non mi cambia assolutamente niente. Però grazie Lorenzo per dirmi che ci sto capendo qualcosa, perché effettivamente da quando è stato detto da parte di Isayama che questa opera dovesse essere il più coerente possibile, che comunque ci dovesse essere un filone coerente della storia, o comunque il fatto che io abbia letto molti fan sostenere che il finale fosse coerente con quanto andava scritto o detto da Isayama, beh, effettivamente è vero, nel senso che questa storia, se fosse come ho detto, c'è molta coerenza, c'è molto filo logico e purtroppo forse l'happy ending o comunque il sad ending non consiste solamente nel vedere qualcuno che muore, no, nel vedere il protagonista principale o uno dei protagonisti principali morire. Certo, anche quella è tristezza infinita, lacrime a go-go, certo, ne sappiamo qualcosa con Sasha, ma, la vera tristezza magari di questo sad ending è, come sostenevo pochi minuti fa, è che magari si fa tanto caos per niente, perché se Eren muore per niente, a cosa è servito tutto ciò? Dovrebbe servire per smuovere le coscienze, no, per dire: Eren è morto", o comunque tutto questo concetto di Ymir, perché a sua volta, come vi ho detto settimana scorsa, può essere anche che il concetto di Ymir salta, no, quindi viene annullato il tutto, no, e si dovrebbe ripartire da zero. Quindi in questo senso si potrebbero smuovere le coscienze di coloro che sono sopravvissuti, ovvero: "Ma cerchiamo veramente di non ripetere gli errori commessi". Ma è per quello che sono molto curiosa di queste 8 pagine extra, perché, queste 8 pagine extra sono fondamentali per capire, perché io penso che Eren muoia prima, cioè muoia nell'ultimo capitolo, o comunque nel capitolo prima dell'ultimo capitolo, non penso che muoia nelle 8 pagine extra, no, andando a rigor di logica. Quindi le 8 pagine extra dovrebbero essere qualcosa che arriva dopo e che quindi conferma, ehm, il risultato di tutto quello che è successo prima. Se siamo verso un mondo che si proietta verso qualcosa di positivo o se reiteriamo tutti gli errori fatti, fino adesso. Ecco, bisogna capirle queste 8 pagine extra, non vedo l'ora che venga tutto trasposto in anime, perché così almeno capiremo anche noi. Io mi auguro che le traspo cioè che ci sia questa trasposizione, me lo auguro, ma penso che sia anche abbastanza ovvio, ecco. Quindi non vedo l'ora di vedere cosa succede dopo, perché è il dopo che conta a questo punto, cioè è il dopo che ti fa capire se tutto quello che è successo fino ad adesso non è servito a una mazza, oppure è servito veramente a qualcosa, anche se, ribadisco, purtroppo è intrinseco nell'essere umano compiere continuamente errori e alle volte reiterarli questi errori, per cui non vorrei che questa morte di Eren e di tutto ciò che è attorno a Eren della serie, tutto questa maledizione dovuta a Ymir e cose di questo tipo, fosse fatta invana, cioè fosse fatta come un qualcosa che non serve a una mazza, perché sennò, è un gran peccato ed è forse per questo che c'è questo sad ending, perché alla fine è come dire: "Sì, ho sacrificato la mia vita, ho sacrificato anche la vita dei miei amici, ho sacrificato la vita del Chosa Hedan, ho sacrificato questo, ho sacrificato quello, invano, totalmente, per niente". E quindi questo tipo di finale è desolante, non è confortante. Ed è forse per questo che Isayama, io mi ricordo in un'intervista, in una delle ultime interviste, prima logicamente di arrivare alla fine, diceva: Non ci sarà un happy ending". E beh, te credo, cioè se arriviamo a questi livelli non ci sarebbe mai potuto essere un happy ending. Però ripeto, queste 8 pagine extra potrebbero essere un là che ti aiuta a capire bene o male quello che potrebbe essere in futuro. Chi lo sa? Stay tuned, bisogna, capire quello che può succedere, e speriamo bene a questo punto, anche se, seguendo quello che ha detto Isayama fino ad adesso, non ci dovrebbe essere un happy ending, quindi mi immagino che purtroppo, nonostante il sacrificio di Eren, purtroppo le cose potrebbero ripetersi. Cose che però non mostrere non mostre no, scusa, cose che però non verranno mostrate e che non vedremo, perché Isayama, ho capito che ha sostenuto il no sequel, quindi non ci sarà alcun sequel. Però è comunque sempre un motivo per spingerti a come posso spiegare anche questo concetto? Cioè è un modo per lasciare ai lettori la possibilità di dirsi: è cambiato qualcosa? Questo sacrificio è servito a qualcosa oppure no?" E quindi le 8 pagine extra. Potrebbe essere un'idea, non si sa. Ehm, Flock può anche avere ragione se affianchiamo il suo pensiero a situazioni di crisi estrema umanitaria. Bene, okay. Il suo problema è che è totalmente polarizzato senza voler sentir ragioni, esatto, sì, è proprio ottuso, cioè una persona che ha i paraocchi e che non vede tutt'altro, esatto, un po' come sì. Beh, devono adattarle per forza. Me lo auguro, sì, sono letteralmente un post credit sine cliffhanger. Okay, il finale è agrodolce. Mh, però che insomma dai, è un po' dolce, ma è anche aspro, quindi è abbastanza vedremo. Sono molto curiosa, intanto finiamo l'episodio, scusate io delle volte interrompo perché l'episodio l'avete già visto, okay, quindi sapete di cosa stiamo parlando dell'episodio 6 e penso che l'abbiate visto 3000 volte, quindi è inutile che cioè io devo fermare delle volte il video, perché non è la prima volta che vedo questo episodio, ma secondo poi perché se ho delle cose da aggiungere, che non ho aggiunto prima, non posso aspettare la fine dell'episodio perché poi magari me le dimentico, devo dirvele così, a ruota libera. Quindi portate pazienza se delle volte, in questo caso, interrompo l'episodio, anche perché non è brand new, quindi non è un qualcosa che non avete mai visto, ma bisogna discutere, no? Quindi bisogna parlarne un po' e per questo motivo lo stoppo delle volte, portate pazienza. E se non vedete una mazza, come una persona ha scritto prima, pensate che io sia pazza, perché parlo da sola, potete togliere il video, potete disiscrivervi e potete farvi una vita. Bene, andiamo avanti. Io sono fatta così.
おい、止まれ！こっから先は戦場だぞ！ゴービー！こんなところで何してんだ！
E qui e here, the first meeting.
ちっちゃんねえぞ、カキ！お前は家に帰って！なんだ敵の攻撃か！どこからだ！上だ！くっさい！ガビ！逃げろ！おい、大丈夫！
The first meeting, Sasha and Gabi. Yeah.
この道も塞いだ。行くぞ、サシャ。コニー、明かりを灯すことをお忘れですか？
And then we were asking ourselves, but what about those lights? And later they explained us. Wow. Mm-hmm.
じゃあ、共演はしばらく来ないぞ。
明かりの設置は
すべて仕掛けました。作戦は順調か？
今のところはな。
Yeah, I want to tell you one thing. Surprisingly, at the beginning, I was not liking Gabi so much. I mean, I was totally against her because of her presumptuous attitude and because she was so self-confident and she was pointing the finger on people who had the same destiny as hers And that's why I was asking myself, how do you not understand their point of view? But how is a girl supposed to understand their point of view? Um, Later, through months, okay, I didn't hate her because it's a strong feeling to hate a person for this, to hate a character for this. But throughout the months, I was thinking more and more about Gabi, about what happened to her, about her feelings, what she felt, how would I reacted if I would have been in her position. Mm, it's hard. It's hard to take a position because after rewatching now these episodes and after knowing where we are going, okay, I still love Kaya. Absolutely. I think that she was a revelation in this first part of the season. But I have to say that months after months, I understand even Gabi a little bit because of what I told you a few minutes ago. I mean, if we see the perspective, if we understand that there is not a perspective, there is not a point of view, there is just mistakes, and there is just the repetition of mistakes, and there is just the main problem that is humanity, then it's easy to not condemn Gabi for what she's doing. Then it's easy to understand her a little bit and to understand the main problem, the core of all this. That means we are the problem. We can't solve the things until we understand that we are the problem. And I think, and until we can't try to solve ourselves first. But it's not easy. If we solve this huge problem that is humanity, or we have to create a rumbling that is exterminate all of us totally, or we try to accept the mistakes we made and we try to solve them. But this procedure takes lots of time and takes lots of lives. So I don't think it's probable that this thing is happening. That's why, if I see things from another perspective, I can also understand Armin when he's saying, let's try to use the dialogue as our weapon. Let's try to talk more. Let's try to find a solution better than before. Yeah, it could be a solution, but is it going to work? Are words a great weapon? Or is selfishness, revenge, cycle of pain more greater or more efficient than words? How can human beings change if they use the same methods? They can't, of course. So human beings should find something else that was never tried before to change things. Is a dialogue this weapon? It could be, but sarebbe bello però un prequel. Ah, sì, bellissimo. Concordo. Per avere più contestualizzazione sul passato e il world building. Sì, quello che ha detto Willy Taiba sarebbe bello vederlo anche. Ecco, sì. Assolutamente concordo per il prequel, ma dubito, perché c'è sempre, cioè io penso che Isayama abbia paura di toccarla quest'opera ancora una volta, nel senso che c'è il rischio che anche se si trattasse di un prequel, se venisse narrato nel modo sbagliato, se venisse trattato nel modo sbagliato, c'è il rischio che, hai visto, no? Se per molti il finale faceva schifo e quindi fa schifo tutta l'opera ormai, se succedesse qualcosa nel prequel di sbagliato, mettiamola così, o di o qualcosa che i fan poi possono recriminare, non finiamo più. Forse è meglio che questa opera non venga toccata più e che rimanga così com'è, onde evitare lamentele inutili, discussioni inutili, perché devo essere sincera, quando e se andrà a finire come dico io, Isayama ha fallito nella sua missione. Cioè, nel senso, da un lato è stato molto realistico ciò che ha narrato, ciò che ha scritto, ciò che ha creato, perché è esattamente il ritratto di quello che noi viviamo, cioè di una realtà dove se non crei guerre non va bene, o comunque andrebbe bene, ma purtroppo è una realtà utopica. Per cui Isayama fallisce nel momento in cui, quando viene presentato il finale di un'opera, la gente si scanna. Cioè la gente si scanna a vicenda tra quelli che hanno amato la fine e quelli che non l'hanno amata, no perché tu non l'hai amata, no perché io a me ha fatto schifo, e quindi la gente si scontra per l'ennesima volta. Quindi il messaggio che Isayama ha voluto mandare, secondo me, è un messaggio che non è arrivato dritto al cuore del lettore, perché se il lettore fosse stato più attento e se le cose andranno come dico io a questo punto, prima aspetto a dirlo, però magari lo anticipo, cioè il messaggio di Isayama non ha raggiunto il lettore. Quando noi dovremmo imparare a non scontrarci più e a trovare delle cose in comune e a basarci su quelle invece che a sfidarci o a, diffondere odio, diffondere, ehm, cose che dovrebbero rimanere, no, indietro perché riguardano la storia e che quindi dalla storia noi dovremmo imparare ma non impariamo mai. Ecco, anche il fatto di scontrarsi tra fandom e creare tutte queste faide inutili, diatribe, cioè Isayama hai perso. E pensare che forse Isayama, grazie a questi messaggi importantissimi dati nell'opera, sperava magari di dire: "Oh, io ve l'ho messo lì sul piatto d'argento, se non avete capito che il problema siamo noi e tutti gli scontri inutili che facciamo e tutte le recriminazioni che ci diamo a vicenda, tutte le guerre nate per un cavolo, cioè che non senza senso, quando le cose si potrebbero risolvere con qualcosa di pacifico, con qualcosa di cioè con l'accettazione del diverso, no, magari imparando a non farci guerra a vicenda, niente, anche il fandom non ha capito, perché ancora adesso si sta discutendo. Cioè ancora adesso siamo ancora logicamente aspettando la seconda parte, ma siamo ancora al punto di partenza, perché stiamo ancora discutendo su il finale mi è piaciuto, il finale ha fatto schifo, il finale è stato figo, il finale è stato coerente, no, il finale è stato, una cosa, inverosimile, non si può guardare, niente, noi non capiamo. Cioè l'essere umano reitera tutti gli errori una volta dopo l'altra, non c'è poco da fare, c'è poco da fare. Ambientato 70 anni prima su Paradise, questo non canonico. Sì, potrebbe essere una bella idea, però comincio già a sentire le voci indirettamente, sento le voci tipo stile corvo, no, qua, 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 guau, guau, dietro di me, comincio già a sentire le voci di chi dice: "No, no, per carità, no, non cominciare niente, non ci interessa, guarda se fa schifo come il finale fa lo stesso", cose di questo tipo. Quindi, anche la voglia di cominciare un progetto del genere ti scema automaticamente, no, per cui, dubito che ci sarà un prequel, oppure sarà un prequel seguito da altri, non da lui. Può anche essere che lui dia delle dritte. No, leggi bene anche il messaggio prima. Il messaggio prima l'ho letto, sarebbe bello però un prequel ambientato durante la guerra del passato tra Marley e Eldia, per avere più contestualizzazioni sul passato del world building, ambientato 70 anni prima su Paradise, questo non canonico. Questo l'ho letto, cioè l'ho letto sia il messaggio prima, poi non so se tu hai scritto qualcos'altro, se tu hai scritto qualcos'altro non mi compare in questo caso. Però, ripeto, a questo punto penso che se ci fosse un prequel sarebbe fatto da qualcun altro. Non credo che Isayama si imbarchi in questa avventura. No, non è quello, mi ha cancellato il messaggio di mezzo, allora può essere, sì, perché non lo leggo, non leggo niente. In mezzo non c'è niente. Vedremo raga, vedremo, però dubito, dubito. Dubito nel prequel, dubito no, nel sequel proprio no, però nel prequel anche. Anche se sarebbe veramente interessante capirne di più.
だがわからねえ。何が起きたっておかしくねえよ。この戦いの先に何があるのか。それを見極めるためには生き残らないと。
Dun, 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 dun. Wow.
違和感の正体が分かった。潜水の巨人が現れた時に感じた違和感だ。こいつは足元から体ができていった。うなじからではなく、ステージ中央の地面からだ。潜水の本体は。
Oh, when he's diving like this, and then when he understood how to defeat the Warhammer, it was so nice. Yeah, the same cocoon as Annie's. Okay, apro una parentesi. I open a bracket. What about Annie? I want to understand how they will release her. Okay, now we understand how we can release her, but when, how, and what's going to happen with Armin? Because we understand that Armin is in love with Honey, but I don't think that it's connected with Bertold. No, I think that he likes Annie since the beginning. In season one, it was so clear to me. In season one, it was clear to me that Annie loved Armin as much as Armin loved Annie somehow. I don't know if you understood this, but last time when I was rewatching season one, even with my mother, but even without my mother, it was clear. Yeah. I mean, the fact that Armin was so intelligent and Annie was attracted by this aspect of Armin, the fact that Annie was amazed by Armin's skills to create plans or to to guide all of them throughout his plans. But then, come on, when she was transforming into the woman Titan, and once she recognized that that was Armin, she didn't touch him. I think that's the proof in which we understand that she was liking Armin, but even Armin was liking. I mean, even Armin liked Annie in season one, especially when he was saying to her, "No, was he saying this? Yeah, he was saying to Annie, if I'm not wrong, you're kind." Annie, you are kind, as if for the first time, a man, a person that was not from Marley, could understand Annie better than them. It was the first time for Annie to face someone who could understand her kindness somehow, because she's so rude. I mean, in the other episodes, even in season 4 now, when we see the flashback and we see that Reiner was beaten by her, or in season 1 when she's so cold, she has this attitude as if you can't expect that Annie can be so kind. I think Armin was the only one who could detect some parts of her personality that nobody else could. And it was so obvious to me because later, when we understand that actually she wants to go back to her father, and she wants to follow the promise she made to her father. And she's crying even in season 1 when she's the woman titan, and she can't escape from that moment. She's crying. Or when Eren is saved, because we still didn't know why he had to be saved or why they wanted to capture Eren. But in that moment, we see the pain Annie feels, because she's always crying, she's always sad. And it means that those tears are not coming from a person without a soul, without a heart. It's coming from a person who has a great heart to sacrifice herself for the sake of her father, her family. And nobody can understand this, because until they explained to us in season 4, or even before, what happened, season 3 part 2, with the revelation, we didn't understand that even these people were fighting for something, that even these people were feeling pain because of this situation, that they were sacrificed because they wanted to protect their families, they wanted to let their families live better instead of living in misery. So even Annie, yeah, I think Armin was the only one who understood her for real, without even trying to understand her deep inside, because in season 1 we didn't understand anything still. But Armin was going ahead, was going forward, telling, I mean, saying to Honey, look, you are kind. I know you are kind. Yeah. So I can understand Annie that for the first time somebody else understood her. And I think she loves Armin as much as Armin loves her, beside the Bertold thing. Because, okay, Bertold loved Annie, but he couldn't express these feelings in the proper way. He couldn't see what Armin saw in Annie's facial expressions, in Annie's mood. That's why I think Annie cares more about Armin instead of Bertolt. This is just my idea, but to me it was clear since season 1, since she wanted to protect him, she wanted to check if that was Armin or not. She didn't kill him. Just for this reason, you understand that Annie felt something for him. Otherwise, if she had to follow the plan, she had to erase all Paradise people, right? So why did she save Armin in season 1 in that moment with the hoodie? Why? There's no other reason. Oh, look, as much as in season 2, I believe Eren declared his love for Mikasa, I think that in season 1, we clearly see that there is this special interest between the two, and we can't say the contrary. No.
まずい。戦鎚の巨人が食われる。
Wow. Oh, Galliard.
この瞬間を待っていた。シェトを奪還する。なんだ、紙切れ。
Vai.
今のこいつか。
Levi.
あかん。
His entrance, I mean, the entrance of the Ackermans, they are always the best. Who cares at this point? Look at, yeah, I was commenting the same, I think, some months ago when Galliard is saying, Can't you see that I am a Titan? Yes, we saw it. We know you very, very, very well.
俺を
These guys are just humans, yet they're coming to kill me as much as you did.
殺す気か。これがパラディ島の
Wow. Wow. Look, okay, we finished the episode, but the entrance of Levi was simply amazing. The entrance of Mikasa was simply stunning. Yeah, as I was telling you, the entrance of the Ackerman, they are the best. I really loved this episode, even months ago. I think it was so beautiful to watch the first times, as I was telling you, the time in which Gabi is facing reality as it is, something unexpected, something that she has never believed that it was possible. Eren that is facing for the first time Marley attacking them and getting in touch with the weapons, getting in touch with something that maybe he also couldn't expect. Because as much as it was something crazy, unbelievable for Reiner in episode 1 when they were attacking them with these new weapons that they destroy Titans. Yeah, these first times, plus the entrance of the Ackerman. Mamma mia. So many beautiful things. Yeah. And okay, I didn't change my mind regarding Galliard. I can't stand him so far. No, I can't find a way in which I can say, okay, oh, he's great. Oh, I like him. No, I can't. I tried my best, but I tried to put myself in his position too, because I did it many months ago. But no, no. And as I was telling you, yeah, by rewatching this episode, it's so clear now. Maybe for you manga readers, it was easier to understand this because you were following the manga already. You knew many things that were coming later. But if you're an anime only and you watch this for the first time, you say things like, "Oh, Gabi, you speak? What happened to Paradise? You guys caused all this, right?" I think many people who are anime only, as much as I was and as much as I am, they think like this because if you watch this episode suddenly, like this, in prime time, you don't have this feeling, this will to understand their feelings because we have always standing on their sides. I mean, at the side of a Paradise, and as an anime only, is so difficult from the first time to say, "Oh, okay, Gabi, poor Gabi, we understand your poor Gabi." If you watch this the first time, and if you follow this story of the Shingeki no Kyojin, of course, you can't express these empathetic feelings for Gabi. But after you watch the rest of the episodes of this part one, you keep understanding more and more that the problem is not where you stand, the problem is not the side you decided to take, but the problem is something else, something that goes beyond the sides. But yeah, instinctively, when you watch this episode for the first time, you can't say, "Oh, Gabi, you're great. I understand you, poor Gabi." It's a feeling that comes after, and it takes time to understand these things for real. This is what I believe because at the beginning I was saying, "Oh, come on, Gabi, please. I can't stand you because you are saying that these people are devils, but you were also devils when you decided to attack you, not you, Gabi, but you, Marley, or aliens living in Marley, decided to attack them or decided to confine them over there, blah, 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 blah." Yes, But at the end of the day, you understand that everything is wrong. And that's why, yes, some months ago I was telling you maybe Eren has this uh, will to change everything and to erase everything in order to start something new. But as I was telling you before, is this going to work? Is this going to change things? It will be a problem. It will be a problem because I can't believe if this story is realistic and is based on realism, except for except for these superpowers. I'm talking about the core of the story. Okay, if it's based on realism, it's so difficult that after all this mess of a part two that is coming, the world can go back at what it was before. That means a peaceful world without wars, without contrasts, without battles. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible. I just think that maybe an era can finish, an era of pain, an era of revenge because of some specific reasons, but maybe another era is starting, and this era will always have the same problems, maybe based on other things. And maybe at the end, this cycle of pain, this cycle of destruction and regeneration. Oh, look, if we base ourselves on the opening, destruction and regeneration, you are my enemy. Sure, because if after Eren dies, things are repeating once again, in a different way, of course, but with the same leitmotif, destruction and regeneration, you are my enemy because nothing is changing, because this cycle is going ahead, is going on. And maybe, yeah, we should understand that this is Shingeki no Kyojin. That means this is the story of Eren. So we should see things through Eren because it's his story. That's the title of this story, and it means that if Eren dies and he finds peace, he finds the real freedom, as I was telling you last week, it makes sense for himself only. I mean, we are in Shingeki no Kyojin, and it means that if Eren is dying, he will find his freedom. But this story, at this point, yeah, it doesn't matter if other people will suffer or if there will be other mistakes in the future, because Eren is the main protagonist here, and Eren will die. Eren will find his freedom, but his freedom is not humanity's freedom. Okay, so if we see things from this point of view, it makes sense because Eren can be free finally. Okay, from all the mess, from all the pain, from all the revenge, from everything. But the world keeps staying the same. And this cycle of pain, cycle of revenge can affect others, not Eren, because Eren could find his freedom finally. Okay, if it's like this, it makes sense. It makes sense. And it means that it's not just the world we should pay attention on, but even Eren's point of view, because this is his story. I told you already last week. It's not the Yoroi no Kyojin. The title is talking about the Eren's Kyojin, the Eren's Titan, and the owner of this Titan, this owner of this Titan. So, it means, yeah, we reached the end for the Shingeki no Kyojin, maybe. But what if in the rest of the world there are other Kyojin? I mean, here we focus just on Marley and Paradise, but what about the rest of the world? Maybe in the rest of the world they can find other titans. It could be, but we will never know because there will not be a sequel. But it would be interesting to see if in these 8 extra pages we understand if somewhere else, or yeah, in another place or whatever, they have another type of titan, or Ymir maybe was not the only one. Who knows? This could be really interesting to understand, because how is it possible that just Ymir had these this power, this will to do what she did? I don't think so. Can you imagine if I mean, can you imagine if for each country they had a titan, or if I'm still thinking, okay, because I don't know, but I will understand this when we will see part 2. I wanted to understand how Ymir got in touch with the power she has, what type of power she was encountering, how could she develop the power she had. This is so interesting, and of course we will understand it in part 2, but because I remember, okay, that image, even during the ending of a season 2, where you see the demon, a sort of demon, and in front there is this girl, and the girl probably is Ymir. But what about that demon? How this demon appeared to her? What happened? What was it? Something so clear to her? I mean, it was an appearance like, oh, okay, you're a demon, hello, or it was something that got in touch with her unconsciously speaking. I mean, without her understand. I don't know. This is interesting because we all know, okay, Ymir had this power, la 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 la. But how this happened? Or maybe that's why she was in the middle and everyone was pointing the fingers to her, because she already had that power, or she was bullied because she got in touch with something and it was so clear to everybody, or they were these people who were pointing the finger on her, they were just spreading rumors about her. I don't know. Is this a power that Ymir had something visible or something I mean, I don't want to say it was like a virus, but was it something that it was clearly in front of her, or she got in touch with it without even noticing? This this is the main question. This is what I would like to understand for sure. But is this a thing, getting in touch with Ymir, affecting Ymir only, or are there other things, other living things, other men, other women, other people in the rest of the world building of Shingeki no Kyojin, that are affected by this, that can be corrupted by this power? This is interesting because I can't believe that it happened to Ymir only. Because if it's this demon we see in front of the girl, I think this demon could trick others, trick other species, or trick other people in the past, even before the year. Who knows? That's why I want to know. Please, part 2, come fast. I want to know. But this is so interesting. Yeah, these 8 extra pages, they are tempting me. Because if nothing changes, okay, it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense because Eren is ending his existence somehow, and he's free. But this doesn't matter that the rest of the world is free. And it makes sense with the title. Yeah, it makes sense. Because we shouldn't forget we are talking about the Shingeki no Kyojin. Okay, it makes sense. Mhm. Mm. Okay. Okay, I don't know what else to say rather than this because I think that all the theories that I had, I already told them to you before. Ah, what a journey. Okay, next week, instead of a Monday, I will make this live streaming on Tuesday. I told you already because Demon Slayer is coming and it's coming Sunday evening, late evening, and it means that I can't be able to focus or to do good things or good theories about Shingeki no Kyojin the day after. So yeah, I think from now on I will move these live streamings on Tuesday instead of Monday um, because I'm quite busy for the rest of the days. La backstory, sì, background, la backstory di Mir penso che sarà nel penultimo episodio. Oddio! Devo aspettare il penultimo episodio, un attimo che controllo a che capitolo del manga corrisponde. Ok, ok, ti aspetto, ti aspetto. No, non dirmi che devo aspettare il penultimo episodio, porca miseria. Cioè, troppo lungo. Adesso non so quanti episodi saranno. Non so se saranno 10, 12. Non lo so, può essere di tutto a questo punto, perché potrebbero essere anche solamente 10, perché contando i 16 della prima parte diventerebbero 26 e quindi sarebbe abbastanza coerente come numero. Però mai dire mai, potrebbero essere anche 13. Quindi, insomma, potremmo arrivare a 29, visto che gli piace tanto il 9 a Isayama. Gli piace tanto il 9. Quindi potrebbe essere una cosa di questo tipo. Sì, 10 o 13 potrebbe essere un bel numero, contando anche le pagine extra, che però, ripeto, non so quanto siano folte, cioè nel senso, non so quanto siano ricche di dialogo, non so quanto sia estendibile per un episodio, no? Quindi potrebbero anche essere 13 episodi. Potrebbero, non saprei. Vediamo un attimo Lorenzo se mi risponde, che così poi vi saluto. Però sì, a questo punto potrebbe essere un'idea, 10 episodi. Sì. Lorenzo, non lasciarmi! Ma del penultimo episodio. Bella lunga come storia. Il che significa che se ci fossero 10 episodi, il nono episodio niente, mi sono sbagliato, dovrebbe essere il terzo o il quarto? Il terzo o il quarto, okay. Bene, meglio, sì dai, che così ci capisco prima del previsto. Sì. Allora terzo, quarto, benissimo. Non lo so, ripeto, non so quanti episodi saranno, non è stato annunciato ancora assolutamente niente, nessun trailer, nessuna anticipazione, nessun'altra key visual. Non lo so, però potrebbero essere 10 o 13, vediamo, dai, perché non penso che la estendano troppo, anche perché se i capitoli so' quelli, non si può andare avanti più di tanto, però anche 10 è un bel numero, 10 così come anche 12 o 13 a seconda, non più di 14. Beh sì, 14 oddio è un po' un numero 14 che forse 13, dai, 13 è un bel numero. Poi Isayama, ripeto, diventerebbero 29 e a lui questo 9, cioè la quarta stagione totale diventerebbe di 29 episodi, a lui il 9 piace, quindi potrebbe essere 13, dai. Facciamo 13, non è male. Ok ragazzi, io vi lascio adesso. Ok, now it's time for me to go. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for all the people who don't support me. But anyway, you support me because even if you offend me or even if you put dislikes, you are supporting the channel because the algorithm of a YouTube is going like this. No matter the likes and the dislikes, it means that you spread me. So thank you so much for the support. And see you next Tuesday. um I don't know if I should keep this live streaming on the channel because actually I didn't say something that was unbelievable. Okay, I will try to keep it on the channel because many other people couldn't follow it. But anyway, thank you so much. See you next Tuesday with episode 7, the rewatch, and see you on the channel with many other adventures coming. Stay tuned. Bye, grazie Lorenzo per la partecipazione come sempre, il mio assistente, è diventato il mio assistente ormai. Grazie a tutti, ci vediamo martedì perché sposterò la live il martedì invece del lunedì perché Demon Slayer arriva domenica notte, quindi potete immaginare, potete capire che farei una fatica immensa a andare a letto alle 3 della mattina e essere qui alle 8 della mattina a commentare con voi gli episodi, anche se li ho già visti, ma insomma serve essere svegli, ecco. Grazie mille a tutti, ci vediamo alla prossima volta, prossimo video, prossima live streaming, prossimo. Ciao! 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 Ciao!